There has been a lot of work going on at my house as far as the garden is concerned, so I thought this would be a good time to give you a little tour of everything and show you what I've been up to. Okay, so we did a big overhaul on the garden this year. Total new layout, which is behind me. And in this video, I'm gonna give you a full tour of the garden. I thought this would be a good time to do it before all the summer produce and everything really starts to go in. So you can see kind of the bare bones, what it looks like and how we did it. And then I'm also gonna give you a little tour of the seed growing rack and everything that I'm growing on there and how everything's doing. So this is the first place we're gonna start. And this used to be the mulch pile. So I found a local tree service guy that was willing to come in and dump the wood chips from some jobs he had done for free, which is awesome. And a lot of places will do that. Apparently a lot of times they have to pay to dump the stuff somewhere else. So if they're in your area, if you can like set up that little relationship with someone, then they'll be happy to do it. And this guy's actually going to keep dumping wood chips for us as he gets them whenever he's in our area, which is super awesome. And the reason that I wanted the wood chips is because they're a great mulch for the garden and I needed them to make my whole layout work out. So I'll show you that next. Okay, so here we are stepping into the garden and we've got all of these beds laid out with paths in between. So as you can see, we made the beds out of landscape timbers. We got them on sale at Home Depot. They were 50% off. They're not like nailed together or anything. They're just kind of set down in the ground. And we basically just put them in place. Now Jason did have to go through and level under some of them because, you know, they kind of wanted to seesaw if the ground was uneven or something like that. But other than that, there's nothing permanent going on. So that was pretty quick and easy to do relatively, as opposed to like building beds, and a lot cheaper than doing that too. And then after that, the next step was to go through and do all of the paths. Now this video is just an overview of everything, so I'm gonna explain it to you, but if you do wanna go through and see like step by step us doing it and how it all progressed, we showed a lot of it over on the daily vlogging channel that we have. So if you want to see way more detail and see everything how it's coming together, as well as follow the garden more closely every single day, then make sure you subscribe over there. I'll link it for you so you can go see it. So if you want some more details or just to see what my life is like, then you can go over there and check that out. So to do the paths, the first thing we had to do was lay down cardboard, and the purpose of that is to block out all the weeds, because I wanted to mulch and cover in all the paths because, you know, weeding garden beds is one thing, but I don't want to be weeding paths. That's just a lot of extra work that's not productive or necessary. So first step was to lay down cardboard. We've been saving cardboard like since last summer, all through the holidays, and we're getting all kinds of Amazon boxes with people's gifts in them, and we got a good bit of it covered. But then we did end up also going to Walmart and getting them to hold back some of their boxes from unpacking during the evenings and stuff, and so that was a really good free resource as well. So first step, laying down all the cardboard to block out the weeds, and then we put the wood chips on top of that. And the hope with all this is that the path will be nice and clear, you know, we won't have any weeds coming up, and it just makes everything really nice and easy, so we can really focus in on the plants and the actual vegetables and not have to be sidetracked by, you know, stuff coming up in the path. And it also just helps it look a lot neater and nicer and helps us to really see the plants and the vegetables and what we need to work on. So you can see some of the cardboard right here kind of tucked under the timber, and even, you know, if I pull the mulch back, you'll see it's right there. But over time, that cardboard will break down, and you know, the worms will get all in it and chew it up. And we're just gonna keep on layering on mulch. So the mulch will break down too, but as we keep getting deliveries from our tree guy, then we can just come in and keep layering it on, and it should make really nice paths for us, and it's totally free. Okay, so the next thing we gotta talk about is actual plants. So we don't have a ton out here right now because it's just starting to get warm enough where like tomatoes or peppers or things could go out and our area, but there are some spring things that you can plant. Now we don't have a ton of spring veggies just because we spent a lot of spring doing this stuff and getting this whole thing set up, but we do have a few things going on. So the first step for any of our beds is to weed them, and I mean, as you can see, like most of them have not been weeded because we're not putting plants out in these beds yet. We're just not at that point, but I have done a couple and mulched them and planted some stuff. So the first one is this bed right here. So I weeded it, put the same mulch down. You can use other kinds of mulch, but as you can see, it's just blocking out the weeds. And I mean, there are a few things like this that might come up but it's a lot less, and see, it's super easy to pull out because the roots are really weak. It's only going to be the hardcore ones that come through, as opposed to having like a ton of weeds everywhere. But this bed is going to have some squash and stuff in it once it gets warmer, but right now I've got snap peas planted. So I planted these right into the ground, and if we look, you can see that they are shooting up. So these I planted about a week and a half ago, and they are doing great. So we've got these here, and I've got them planted on this tomato cage as the trellis, which if you want to know how to make these tomato cages, and really they're just good trellises overall, I'll link that because I made a video about that last year. And these tomato cages are awesome because they're super durable and way better than stuff you can find in the store. So side note on that. But I planted them on the outside ring of the cage and then also on the inside ring of the cage, and I just pulled the mulch back here where they were planted so that they could poke on through, and then once they really start to get established and start to go up the trellis and everything, then I'll just cover it in so no weeds come up in those gaps. But I'm really excited about that because we've never done snap peas before, and it's kind of like a fun new experiment, and so far it's going really well. The other thing I've planted on this side is some lettuce, and it's a little later than I would have liked to have gotten the lettuce out when it actually happened, but this side of the garden is super shaded and we can't grow like peppers and stuff over here, so I think this might be perfect for lettuce, and it might help extend our season a little bit since they don't really like the heat. They like the cooler weather. Having them on the shady side might mean that we're able to get lettuce going farther into the season. So in this bed I had it all mulched, and then I just dug these little troughs, like just pulling the mulch back, and just direct seeded it. So we've got lots of different types in here. This right here, you can see all the little plants starting to come up. I've got 2 rows here of Mizuna, which is like an Asian green. And then these, I don't remember what order I put things in, but these are all loose leaf lettuces. So you can see like this one's coming up really good. This one, we're starting to get a couple there. We're not seeing a ton going on this row yet. This one's got some. See, there's a little guy there, some more over there. And then this is arugula. So these are a lot smaller. You can see I've got some there, and I've got 2 rows of that going on. So that's where we're at so far as what's actually in the ground. But I'm getting super pumped because this whole thing is already looking amazing. I'm really happy about it. And the next step as far as what we have to do out here is just getting the other beds cleared out. I'm hoping that our guy is gonna have some more trees to clear in our area and will bring us mulch because we need it. If not, we might go and try to collect some leaves and stuff and use that instead, like fallen leaves, because that can be a good mulch too. We just have to go out and get it instead of being dropped right here in front of the garden. But now we can head on inside and I'll show you everything I have growing on the grow rack. So now we're inside, and this is where most of the growing is actually going on right now, and we're actually in my bedroom. So this is the grow rack that Jason and I built, and I think it's pretty awesome. We did talk about that some on the vlogs, and I have footage of the whole thing. So let me know if that's something you'd be interested in, seeing how we did it. The reason we did it is because we just didn't have enough room with what we were doing last year to start all of our seeds. Stuff was super crowded, and it was one of the things that contributed to not having the most successful garden last year. So we built this. It was pretty easy and pretty affordable, and I did get footage of it. So if you're interested in that, tell me in the comments, because I got the footage, but I didn't make a video yet because obviously I wanted to actually grow plants under the lights and make sure everything worked before I start telling you that it's an awesome thing. So we're gonna keep testing it out over the season and see how it goes, but hopefully by next year I'll have a lot of experience with this, and so I'll be able to give you a really good idea of what to do and how well it works and everything like that. So this is what we've got going on. This tray right here, I got these Hex like single cell trays, and we've got cucumbers here. We've got 3 different kinds of basil growing. So an Italian basil, Thai basil over here, and then a globe basil, cilantro, dill, thyme. This is borage, which is a kind of edible flower. And then we've got some calendula, which is fun too, also a flower. So that's really cool. So that's that first tray. And then if we go down the next level, this has a lot of our tomatoes. Now, as you can see, everything's getting really big, and this stuff actually needs to be transplanted like really soon. I'm probably going to do that like maybe tonight or tomorrow. So these are going to get translated into bigger little pods, but we've got all kinds of tomatoes, a tomato forest, as you can see, way more than we'll probably be able to plant, but we can give them to family and friends or do something with them. And then we've got another kind of cucumber. Is that right? Let me go the other side because I actually have this tray turn around backwards. Okay, so let's see what, yeah, I am right. Okay, this is the Mexican sour gherkin. You can see the little label there. And this is a cucumber that's supposed to, like, they're like little baby watermelons and they're supposed to be sour. I don't know. And then we've got some melons growing in here, just like some little, I do like all heirloom stuff because I think it's really fun. And then there's squash and stuff. And then this tray is the pepper tray. So as you can see, we didn't get really good germination on some of these because I've had the seeds for a while. But we've got some different bell peppers, some hot peppers, and then here I have ground cherries, which is kind of like a tomatillo, but it's little. And the combination of flavor is like a tomato and a pineapple, is what people say. And then down here we have a purple tomatillo and a green tomatillo. And on the bottom rack we have a kitten, but we also have this tray right here. So I started some more tomatoes because even though we have a lot, one of the varieties did not germinate well because the seeds were really old. Now I have like a million of them, so you know, that's how that works. And then under here is a lot of peppers and stuff, because like I told you, some of those peppers, like I didn't get germination at all on some of them, or very poor germination. What are you doing, Porngy? Porngy's doing something. But the thing is like the seeds were old and I was like, okay, these are germinating so poorly, I just need to plant a bunch of them, and even if it's late, hopefully something will happen. We'll see what we can do. So we've got some, you can see that little one back there over on that side finally came up, and the rest we're kind of waiting on because peppers take forever to germinate, and there's also some flowers and stuff going on in there, so not too much to show in that tray. But I don't know, I'm really excited about this. I think this whole thing looks really cool. It's really nice, and I'm super pumped about it. So that's what's going on in my garden right now. I hope you like this video, and let me know in the comments if you have any questions about what I'm doing, what I'm growing, and what kind of stuff you're growing, whether it's in your garden or in a planter box or on your windowsill. I definitely want to know what you're doing. And if you're new to my channel and you want healthy eating info, nutrition info, healthy recipes, and these garden updates as I do them, then make sure that you subscribe, because eating healthy and living a healthy lifestyle really doesn't have to be complicated, and I'm going to show you how to do it. And if you're loving the free info here, but you're finding that you need something more personalized, don't forget that I do offer one-on-one nutrition sessions. So if you're interested in that, just let me know and we can get that set up for you. Thanks for watching. I hope you're having a great day, and I'll talk to you next time. Porngy, what are you doing up there? Stop making all the ruckus. We're trying to make the videos and tell people about the plants.